We're making our space backgrounds today. I will be calling you over in small groups to complete the background papers while you work on your spaceships.
This is our black piece that is going to turn into a starry background. We're turning it into stars by using splatter paint. You have toothbrushes, sticks, and paint. You have to be very specific about which direction you are pointing this brush, because if you point in the wrong direction or you swipe the stick in the wrong direction, you're going to spray yourself or your classmates. So listen very carefully. This part of the brush, the bristles, are going to get dipped in the paint. They don't need to be rolled all in it, we're just dipping. Then, pointing your toothbrush down towards the paper and at an angle towards the paper. Don't make it flat. Point it down. You always want to point it towards what you want to spray. Hold it with your non-dominant hand, the hand you do not write your name with. So most of you, that would be your left hand. Unless you're left-handed, then switch hands. With the hand you write with, this is the hand that we're going to be moving, just like writing your name. The hand you're moving will hold the stick. The toothbrush is pointing down, it's pointing at the paper, and with this stick, you're going to pull it back towards you. When you pull the stick back towards you, the bristles will spray forward. They'll spray the opposite way you're pulling. So holding the stick, and I'm holding it with my palm down. My brush, I'm holding with my palm down as well. Both palms are down. I'm going to touch the bristles and pull them back towards me. And I'm going to do it quickly so I can get a spray of paint. Move your brush around the paper. And when you notice that it's starting to not be as clear, you're running out, dip it back in. Don't rub it around. Ooh, that was a lot. And then same thing, keep your brush still, point it down at the paper, pull the stick back towards you quickly. If you get a big chunk of paint like that, turn your stick and make sure your brush is touching it, and when you flick it, you'll spray that paint forward. Get up bottom here. Not a lot of spray down there. If you spray it this way and you push the stick, you're going to spray yourself. So make sure when you're touching it, you're starting at the top of the brush and pulling back towards you. Make sure the brush is pointing down. Once it's covered, it doesn't have to be even. You want some areas to be darker and some to be lighter because it looks more realistic as stars. Stars are concentrated in certain areas and maybe there's darker points in space in others. So that's what you want. That's good. If you have little lines like that, that's also fine. Maybe those are comets or shooting stars from a distance. If you make a big mistake and you mess up a big part of it, maybe your toothbrush falls and makes a big spot, or you accidentally touch it and it smears, or something happens where you get too much paint in one area and you're upset, don't worry, because we have a bunch of stuff that we're going to cut out and glue down on top of it later. So don't freak out if there's a mess up on here. We'll just glue something on top of it and no one will know. This needs to go on the drying rack. Please, before you spray, everybody write your name. If you forgot, just kind of hold the paper up and write your name before you put it on the drying rack. You'll notice I put my toothbrush and my stick on the tray. Probably don't want to put it in the paint, on the edge there. And later we'll put those in the sink. Once your splatter background is complete and you've put your things in the sink, you may begin to start cutting out your spaceship pieces. cutting off sections so I don't have to work around a giant paper. I'm also not worrying about turning my paper. I'm cutting pieces in and meeting them in the middle. It's a lot easier than turning your scissors around all the time. Just cut to meet them. When you get to your rocket ship, there's still a lot of extra big chunks of paper. So before I start cutting the shape out itself, I am going to cut down the giant pieces surrounding it. I now have my background that is dry and my cut out pieces for my composition. So I need to decide how my rocket ship is going to be positioned on my paper, if I do like the black or if I want to cut those windows out. It's really up to you. I think they both look good. I don't want to put my rocket ship right in the middle. Everybody does that. You're welcome to do it if you want, but I want to make mine look a little more interesting, so I'm going to put it on the side at an angle, and then maybe do my comet and my planets over here. And I want the light to be facing the same way. So the light's over here, the light on this planet's over there, so even if I move it somewhere else, the light still looks like it's coming from that direction. If you decide that you like the black windows, leave them and glue it. If you don't, I'm going to show you how to change it so you can cut them out. I'm going to cut straight through the bottom part of my little wing here and go up the side until I come to the top wing. Very carefully, I will cut along the edge of the rocket. I need to be super careful that I don't rip it off because I made mine very thin. If you made yours a little thick, this will be a little bit easier. I'm going very slow to each corner. I'm even going to go back around on this side and cut it out. The reason this doesn't matter is because even though I've cut this off, when I glue it, it's going to glue straight back on where I had it before. So it won't matter in the long run. And the nice thing, if you do cut them out, is that you can see the stars behind it. And it looks a little more realistic than the black window. If you cut it out and decide, I don't like that, you still have this. So you could glue your rocket ship down and then glue this right back inside the window. So even if you do it, you can take it back later. It's really up to you. Since I already cut one out, I'm going to cut the other one out too. So we're using regular glue today. We can use the tap and glue if you really want to, but because this is painted, we do need a little extra glue on the back. Oh, almost did it. I don't want to flip this over on my black paper because this oil pastel smears and I don't want to smear it on my nice background. I'm going to move it over to the side when I flip it over to glue. Don't put glue on your background. Always put glue on the back of your cutout shape. I'm shaking the tip up, the bottle upside down so the glue will come into the tip. If you have it turned all the way open and then when you start to squeeze it still doesn't come out, just put it up front near the dry box and get another glue bottle from the back. If you can see, yeah, you can see the line of glue that I'm making all along the border of my rocket ship, along the points. I don't have a really thick line. It's a nice line. I'm running it down. We did just draw with glue, so it's the same kind of thing where I'm making lines that aren't too thick. I'm touching the paper while I do it. I can control it a lot better that way. got thin lines of glue all the way down. I have them on the sides. Very carefully going to turn it around and lay it on my paper. The next part of this is important. If you do not hold your paper and keep pressing it back down, it will not stick completely. So you have to hold it down. If you get glue that sticks out or squirts out, that's fine, because this glue dries clear. Anywhere that looks like it's sticking up, move your hands over there and hold it down for a little while. This piece I realized doesn't have any glue on the back, so I'm going to lift it up, add a little dot, and then hold it down.